What's up, everybody? It is Happy Friday Eve. Happy Friday Eve. Um,
Friday Eve. I like
I'm
that.
so excited, y'all, to have somebody who you met back in 2020, but it's been a whole transition of life. And I'm so pumped to be able to bring to you all and reintroduce Ginger Johnson to the party, y'all. What's going on, G?
Lawrence, it's so good to see you, brother. It is, woo! It's a beautiful day here in Southern Oregon. It's a beautiful day when I get to see your smile and be here with the boss and friends. And he's always reminded me of the Pontiac logo, right?
Yeah,
That's a
yeah,
good thing.
I
Pontiac
love
was
it.
a leader,
There
not
we
just
go.
a car. Yeah,
Go.
indeed. Yeah.
Yeah, so I want people, and again, I started this Boss and Friends because I know some amazing people, and I would hate for people to think that I got here all by myself, and so that is a stretch of anybody's imagination. But I wanted to introduce them to you, not just because you're amazing and a giant of a human being, but you have this gift. You have this connection gift. But before we get into that gift, I want you to tell people a little bit about you, and then I'm going to tee you up to start slam dunking some nuggets.
Uh-oh, and here's the thing, y'all. He knows enough about me for that to be dangerous.
There we go.
Oh, about me. Wow. God, it's such a big question. It's I've gone to work in a do-rag and jeans and a t-shirt, Lawrence. I've gone to work in a suit. I've gone to work in a button-up shirt with a pocket protector. I just like when we think about what we're connected with. I still have it. Like it's in my office. I'll pull that out if I need to. When we think about what we're connected to in life and how we are connected to it, it's pretty interesting to examine it. And maybe you did this when you were in 7th grade, 8th grade too, Lawrence. I remember one of my civics teachers having us do an exercise of mapping out your life, just like we would map out world history. We would map out our life. Like, I'm going to challenge everybody here to take a look at that. What makes you the boss of your life? What are those things that have connected you? What are those congruencies? And like, I look at that all the time. I'm looking in the rear view. I'm mostly looking out the windshield, but that rear view informs, the side mirrors inform. And that's what makes me me, just like it makes everybody who they are. The key, and you know this better than a lot, Lawrence, the key is being willing, not just be aware. Awareness is really important, but be willing. Just say, ego out of it and say, is this the thing? Is this the best thing? Is this the healthy thing? Is this the wise thing? And then say, hey, can you help me with this? I got some thoughts. What do you think? What did you do to help guide us? I know that that's the foundation of our friendship right here. It's like, wow, this is somebody that I'm going to learn from. I'm going to grow with. Somebody's going to challenge me. When I think of my life, that's what I think of. And I think I'm so damn lucky, Lawrence.
Oh my gosh. So you said a ton of stuff there, but what I love about that, particularly me and Ginger met during a season, and you talk about no ego. I was at a transition, if you will, in my mind, and it was a Monday, Memorial Week, and life was changing for me personally by meeting Ginger and us actually having and again, we met via LinkedIn, like most of us, but it was the way we engaged. And it like when it was like this, hey, I want to find out first if you're a robot or not. Like, so tell me why you want to meet me. And so that's how it started. And then we had some really good typing banter, word banter. But then it was like, okay, we got to move this meeting up. And I'm so glad you did, because what happened later on that night, or what would be reported on the news, was everything kicking off with George Floyd and the work and the way that the world was about to go crazy, and these lines begin to be drawn from a relational standpoint. And you're somebody who you create meaningful opportunities to engage well. And that was one of the things that I believe, really kept us going, because you were thoughtful in how you engage, particularly after that moment in time, to hold space for me and again, life transition, professional transition, but how was I being impacted by the world around me? And I want to say thank you for that. And there's a reason why I believe you connect well to people is because the heart of you is, you show it. Like, you show, like, you're not hiding who G is, and there's no motives or agendas. It's just G. And you either get it or you don't. And so for me,
That's
yeah,
a mouthful.
yeah. Well, I'm thinking about there, because you have this networking thing that's been rummaging around, and I've always come up like slight regurgitated words in my throat. But there's this thing around connection. What's the difference for folks?
Such a good question, Lawrence. Yes, there's a big difference between connecting and networking. Here's how I define the difference. Connecting has depth. It has breadth, but depth first and always. One of my former coaches, Blair Ann's Win Without Pitching, described it very visually, and I love this visual. Think Pilsner glass instead of casserole dish. If we're thinking of going deep and we want to have deeply meaningful relationships, then we're seeking connection. Networking is the tips of the waves. That's the stuff that we do. Boom, 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 boom. It's abrupt. It's choppy. We don't know what's under the surface. If you want to collect, go for it. That's networking. And for the record, you look up the words, because Lawrence, I want to be able to know something about what I'm preaching, just like you. Like, a network is a noun. Yeah, you can throw the gerund on there and make it networking. My English teacher would be proud of me. But you think about it. When people say, well, why do you want to network? They say, well, I want to connect with people. I'm like, well, just say you want to connect then, because connect is depth. And here's the deal. It's not about numbers. It's about quality, never quantity. It's about value, not volume. I got 1 million of those. And that's the big difference. So if you truly, deeply want to engage with people, if you want to put yourself into life fully, you want to find out what's going on with those people, just like you and I's Inception conversation, which will live in infamy in both our heads. Holy crap, this guy, he's different. This is for reals. That's what connecting is. Networking will never be the same. I'm not saying that networking is bad. It's not my jam. Know the difference. Connecting is depth, meaning, worth, value, service first. Just like you got a huge heart and you're thinking about other people, not martyr thinking, but like, this is great. What's the symbiosis that's possible here? Networking is often, grab, bad cocktails, bad aftershave, bad Zoom, whatever that is. It's very surface level. Connecting is depth.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So yeah, and I'm telling on myself, I was bad aftershave, and like hot summer Georgia sun aftershave, sitting in my car going from event to event to event. And I think in the back of my mind, early in the process of trying to grow my brand, I was just trying to look for the transaction of every interaction, because I had a need, and I was the thirsty networker who I needed a job. I needed something. And again, coming from the world that I came from in the military, we had split seconds to know, like, and trust those around us. And our friends in trust and credibility was assigned with every new duty station. And so when I transitioned to this side of life, it was like, hey, is it meaningful? Is the connection building depth? And again, understanding there are the reasons, there are the seasons, there are the lifetimes of relationship, and not to believe we got to go deep and fast and hard with everybody, but is the potential there? I think is really the catalyst. And you've even said that as just because you meet someone who is a connection doesn't mean you need to do business with them. And maybe it's not the time yet. Meet them, grow the relationship, and when it's time, boom, G's it. Like, and it's a season of life that I'm in that it makes sense for me and G to work together now. And so when you think about folks and helping people understand that, right? Because authenticity is this other buzzword thrown out there.
Did you have something in your mouth there?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. People are annoying me because it's like, I only want to connect with authentic people. You can't spell it. So let's start there. So what, when you hear authenticity, and what does it mean from a meaningful connection standpoint? Help the folks out.
Yes. There's so many great words, and I know you know this well, Lawrence. There are so many great words that are simply overused or poorly used. They've turned into misnomers, just like networking and connecting. Oh, I want to network with you. Really? Is that going to hurt? And we look at authentic. What does that mean? Aren't we all truly authentic? Yes, we are. We're all uniquely different, people. So what kind of value and definition are you going to assign those words? Leadership, power, authenticity. There's a whole bunch, if you're listening to this, like, put one of those buzzwords in the chat, because there's a million. The deal is to give that word the power that originally was assigned, and don't overuse it. Awesome is another one. Frankly, I never use that, because there's very little in life that's truly awesome. Does it strike fear and magnificent? Then it's awesome. Authentic. Is this something that's truly unique? Is this differentiable? There you go. There's a new word. And by the way, it's not a contest. Everybody is authentic, truly. So what is it that makes you authentic? When you're looking at connection, you're so right, Elle. You're so right. Focus on the depth. And it is truly, like, you go to, here's an example. And I don't know if I covered this at the summit when you were part of my Art of Connecting Summit last year. But I love to tell people, think of your odds of connecting like this. You go into a room, you walk into a room, there's one other person, and you're determined to connect. What are your odds of connecting? 100%, if you do the work. You go into a room that has 100 people or 1,000 people, you're determined to connect. What are your odds of connecting? 100%. It's intention, and intention drives authenticity. If you want to be 100% you, if you want to have these chats on Memorial Weekend or day or whatever it is, Christmas, I don't care, random Tuesday, and you're in it to really find really interesting people and to find out, are they a connection, to your point, then go ahead, be you. There's the only thing you have to lose is the potential of somebody being a great connection. And we also got to write ourselves permission slips. You know this well, Elle. We need to clean house, as I call it once in a while. We need to write the permission slips. In fact, chapter 10 in my Canon is all about permission slips. Like, don't hold on to what's not working. Don't lead people who don't want to be led. Don't invite people who aren't interested. Don't take offense. There's several billion other people. Find your people.
So, first of all, right, we're in a poetry house right now. You're dropping some nuggets. You're dropping some nuggets. The jazz music is playing in the background, and so thank you for saying it out loud, because for the longest time, and hear us well, y'all. Like, find your people. Like, find your people. I'm gonna say it one more time for the people in the back. Find your people. Give yourself permission. It's okay, right? It's okay that, again, understanding that you are in seasons of life, and it's okay to shift. It's okay to grow, and it just doesn't serve. And here's the other crazy part: if you really want to hit home with it, is you potentially are a block by staying for others.
Yes, to the people in the front, back, and middle, sides.
Yeah. So the permission to move forward, to grow. And again, it's not like you all of a sudden you cutting people off and you burning their contact information. No, it's just saying, hey, we all are in community together, and just knowing what you need in seasons of life, so that we all can continue to move forward together. Because who knows, 2 years from now, you may be like, you know what? God, who was, Ginger. And the time is now for that connection. And again, the reason why, because there's this thing, and I love this post somebody posted earlier, G, and they asked about how important is likability. And I was like,
Ooh.
ooh.
Oh, who asked that question?
Her name's Jamila. She's another coach, and she was starting stuff.
Jamila.
I
love
know
you
she
already,
had,
Jamila.
yeah. So she was starting stuff when she put it out there, and so I
Starting
knew I
stuff.
wanted to bring it up with you.
She just struck a match.
Yeah.
Jamila.
What's this thing about likability?
Oh, I love you, Jamila. Let's connect. We're people. Likability is a trap. It is something that we either lay for ourselves or other people say, hey, why don't you put that over there? That's judgment. That's guilt. That's the shoulds and have tos, which I also cover in the book. No. Ixnay on those. Like, go the other direction. Likability isn't what it's about. Likability is symptomatic once you earn respect. Put that in the proverbial whatever and smoke that. Because when we're looking for authenticity, when we're looking for connection, when we're looking for being a boss, leadership, like insert anything, we need to focus on being true to our core, our purpose, our why, our alignment, making sure we're igniting that every single day and working towards being respected, not being likable. That's a trap. That's a trap, and it's of our own making if we let it in. So when people say, oh, I've gone, I've ixnayed on my social media. Okay, great. Here's the thing. That's always been the wrong word for it. Those are platforms like anything else. What are you doing on each of those? So are you trying to be liked on there? By the way, in the business world, likes don't necessarily convert to real relationships and to doing business and making your livelihood and revenue and like your income. Like, let's get really blunt about this, because if you're confused, if you're thinking that those kinds of I don't even like calling them connections, Lawrence. Those kinds of interactions are, like you said earlier, transactional. Who cares if you like it? So what? Back up and pause. Use that question. So what? What is the deal? So likability isn't the name of the game. It's about being true to yourself, Jamila, and about thinking about knowing that, trusting that, investing in yourself. Like, what makes me my most amazing? That's authenticity. You're welcome. And that is what drives other people. Like, holy buckets, what's going on with that woman? I got to know this, Jamila. I don't know what's going on, but there's something about her. I want to know more. Pique the curiosity, light the match of being interested in other people. That makes you the boss of your life, and that connects you to you while sending out the ripples that attract your people.
Yeah, and it's funny, all inside of there. And one of the things that I love about it, that's why it's not without having, it's know, like, and trust. It's sandwiched. And you said it, there's credibility there. There's, hey, can you actually do the job? Is this actually meaningful for us? And that's why it's not by itself. It's a vanity metric. It's literally what social is all about is, hey, do the vanity metrics convert? That's why, again, I was on the podcast last week with Yunchi Wilson, who's a B2B marketing strategist. Like, literally, like, people are like, you got companies who, hey, I want our visibility up on social. And they're like, why?
Yes, that toddler question is the best question you can ask yourself.
Why? And it goes, and when you talked about the canon and what, because here's the thing about books. People believe, I just wanted to write a book because everybody's writing a book. When you had to write this book, what was the thing that said, you know what, this needs to be written now? Because I want people to know, like, your book is not just a bunch of fodder between pages. It's actually a usable guide to help people do it. There you go.
And it's got yellow pages, y'all. It's a short book. My picture's not even in here because it's not about me. So I love your question. Nobody's ever asked me that question that way. When did I know it was the right time to write a book? I never had any romance around writing books. I love to write. I mean, you get letters and notes and cards from me. Like, that's manifestation for me. My previous business, I wrote my first book during that season, and I was really proud of it. Big exercise, big project. And I didn't do well in that business because I didn't know how to do well. I wrote the book kind of as a PS, as it turns out, in the rearview mirror of, I want to bring some light to this research I did. fast forward to when I started Human Connection and really focusing on that, I knew, Lawrence, because I had wandered around in weeds that I didn't have to wander around in previous with my other business. I did not want to wander around in those. I wanted to serve fast. I wanted to get in there and say, hey, everybody, here's this, if this is helpful for you. So I wrote the book almost right away once I shifted to Human Connection. I knew that I wanted to write it for two reasons. I wanted to write it so I was super duper crystal clear so people could understand it, because I'm worthless unless people can understand what I offer, if it's something for them that they can use in their life and make their life better. And I do use it for leverage. Now I use it for different, like I don't sell on Amazon. That's my personal belief. I don't make hardly any money on it. I don't want to do business with them. So I only sell it on my site. Who ends up buying this? I do sell the once in a while and so forth. If anybody wants it, I can give a special code because of the boss and friends. More importantly, the people who get this are the people who already want to work with me. So when you're looking at yourself, dear listener, and thinking, well, who wants to work with me? Think about a book as an enhancement. Think about it as a piece of you going home with them that they can use over and over again. Lawrence, I'm so grateful that I wrote this. I got to do another printing because I'm low on them. And I got another one coming up. You'll be the first one to know. But I hear consistent feedback from people, unsolicited, who say, oh my gosh, I got your book at this event or that event, because some of my association clients, for example, will buy a bunch and give them to the registrants. I'll give them, my clients will buy them and give them away. Like, what a great idea. People tell me that they find real worth and meaning. That's exactly why I wrote it. I know that this totally, you understand this completely, Lawrence. Like, we do our work to serve others. It does serve us when we do it right. And it is a thrill selling. And when I see one come through and order and so forth, most importantly, I want people to use this. It's a short book. It's not very big. It feels really cool. The cover's, I don't know, some sort of magic finish. And there's all kinds of space in it. Like, write in your book, write in your books. They are tools for use. The moment was when I knew that I was ready to serve in this capacity, and I wanted to make sure I was super clear so people could actually get and use what they wanted from the book.
Those and you just said something there that as a pseudo reader, I love not having to try and look for a journal to write something in or capture notes. So thank you so much for thinking about the reader and it being a usable book, right? Because here's my thing. It's like, if something sparks, I'm like, crap, where's the sticky notes? And like, no, write it inside the book, because that's where you're going to go back to when it comes to researching things. And when it comes to, hey, how am I going to use this? And that's the fact, it's a tool. And I love that you said that, because books should be enhancements to your development. It's just like, it's like training, and then you're not getting the development coaching to support you walk through these new concepts introduced to you. Like, how do you think you're going to change behavior if you don't get support? Like that blows my mind when it comes to development and connection, because again, we by ourselves can only accomplish so much, but the community of us, if surrounded and done right, oh my gosh, that whole thing of, if you want to go fast, to go alone. But if you want to go far, go with other people. No, I think you got it wrong. I think if you want to go fast and far, you need others. Like the learning curve, you're only responsible for your piece. You don't have to learn the whole thing. And you can only go fast towards where your brain will get you. And then you're tapped.
You're so right. And then you burn out, and people like the hustle. I don't believe in the hustle mentality. I think that's dangerous. I think it's seriously unhealthy. And you don't get to the top alone. You don't. Like, even the people who climb Everest, I don't know why they do that, but they don't go alone. Like, why would you do that when the options, you got 7-8 billion people wandering around this planet? Like, there's so many amazing people who want somebody to connect with, who are looking for people like you, Lawrence, like, oh, wow, I'm going to hang my star on that. And by the way, that's not a default for somebody living a great life. A lot of people are seeking the vision from somebody else because they're not sure, or they have a fire that supports somebody else. And by the way, that person that they think they're supporting, the person, like, it's going around and around, right? This is the flywheel of connection. That's what happens. You're so right. Use your books like you'd use your hammer, like you'd use your screwdriver, your drill, whatever. It's a tool, people. Use it, please. Please.
So I can get it. I get emotional about these things, as you can see. But I'm so glad that you had some time in your calendar to come hang
Always
out with
for you.
me. And
Always for you.
here's the deal: I need y'all to connect with Ginger, because I would tell you, Ginger, and again, here's the other part. Don't be a connection broker and try to believe you have to be the end all be all to connect folks to other folks, and you have to be in it and just to see if the relationship works out. If you believe you have a couple people in your network that would vibe, connect them. Ginger has done that so many times for me over this last year, and I've had amazing conversations, some that I'm still having conversations with to this day. And thank you so much for connecting me with a sister from another mister in Giselle Chapman. And you said it like the moment like we met, you were like, you need to meet Giselle. And me and Giselle, like Giselle knows it. Like her and her MSPs and all the
Right?
that is my girl. And so just connecting to so many different amazing people, and like, oh my gosh, and you met Melissa, like you've connected me to some juggernauts, and I am so grateful for it. And again, I want people to find you. I'm not going to hoard you. So your information scrolling, but how else can they connect with all the amazing things you're doing?
Ooh, you're so good to me. Thank you. Feel the same way. You know this. They can reach right out to me, ginger@gingerjohnson.com. My information is right on my site, and I welcome it. LinkedIn, just like you and I, like that's a phenomenal ecosystem. Please, please, please make sure you personally invite. Don't use the auto invites. I don't care that we have people in common. I care that you're interested in what I'm doing, and I'm going to connect with you if I'm interested in what you're doing. So yeah, reach out, go for it. Choose, you can choose, like be choosy. Being choosy isn't being judgmental, by the way. Choice is different than judgment. Huge difference between those two. It is not just a-okay, like you say, Lawrence. It is wise to be selective on who you're populating your world with. Because I look at you, and you know this, I've told you this before. One of the things I talk about is who's your 3 a.m.er? Who will answer the phone at 3 a.m.? Who will come pick you up? Who will bail your sorry ass out if you're in a heap of whatever? Focus on that as a goal. Now that can feel scary because you are totally, here's another buzzword, you know what it is, you're totally vulnerable, and vulnerability is a strength. If you're willing to open up your life, yourself, your heart to other people, like Lawrence was with me, like I am with Lawrence, your world changes. I just got chills. And that's what it's all about. That's being a boss of your life. That's feeling truly deeply connected. And it's so much fun. And by the way, it's a magnet for other people.
Golly. And the magnet is, I just want other people to meet other amazing people. Yeah. There's no ego involved. There's no, you have to do it with me. It's just like, no, find your community. And mine was coaches. Mine was other connectors and leaders. Like that's the world I live in. Mm-hmm. And so why wouldn't I multiply that in my life? Why wouldn't I?
Right.
It's craziness, right. Y'all.
Right.
Oh, gee.
So true. So true. Thank you. Good.
Yeah, y'all. Hey, this was good. This was some good Boss and Friends banter, y'all. And if you enjoyed it, stay tuned until the next time we come on Boss and Friends. But thank y'all so much, whoever tuned in. Connect with Ginger. Buy the book. Invite her to an event near you. She is a speaker, a professional speaker. So her price, there's a price. She does this for a living, folks. So she's happy to come to your event. Make sure your budget is correct. All right. So, until next time, folks, be well, be healthy, and we will see you soon.